Jimmy didn't know, or that Jimmy was covering stuff up. He didn't want stuff to come out. He's very careful about his image. The tangible proof that he knew but covered it up. How do you prove that?
Well, as of right now, we actually do have a lot more proof. So 4 days ago, Dogpack404 released his video titled, "I Worked with MrBeast, He's a Sociopath," and we covered a lot in that video. We did talk briefly about how there might have been a PDF file in works with MrBeast, but we mainly talked about how MrBeast was unfairly paying his employees and being racist towards them, firing anyone who went against him, and putting his employees in emotional and mental anguish just for the sake of challenge videos. And as of now, we do have a lot more information on everything, but mostly I want to talk about the main topic first. And the main topic was that MrBeast is hiring alleged offenders, specifically offenders who committed against an 11-year-old child. And it is rumored that this offense was so bad that this person was banned from the entire state of Delaware. I'd also like to point out later in this video that I will be pointing out that another MrBeast employee has come forward with their own video exposing on MrBeast. More on that later, but he did go in detail about how he was getting underpaid for writing and producing for MrBeast. Our first piece of evidence comes from a tweet from Jake the Viking, which was on Twitter, and I screenshotted it but also screen recorded it just in case he deleted it later. The post is titled, "Here's the Truth." The first line reads, "Yes, Delaware is my brother-in-law. Yes, he is a RSO. When he was 21, a 16-year-old girl accused him and others of SA when she was 11. Delaware took a plea deal. That's why there's no jail time, but he still had to register." I'd also like to add in for context that Delaware allegedly committed this crime when he was 16 himself. His nickname isn't Delaware because he can't go back to Delaware. He's from Delaware. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He's been back several times. He was hired before I was, and was actually the reason I got hired at MrBeast. Before being hired, Delaware sat down with Jimmy and Sue, Jimmy's mom, and explained to them everything, so yes, Jimmy knew. But again, this incident happened in 2010. Delaware was hired in 2017, 2018. Delaware was also let go from the company before I was. Delaware was supposed to be a behind-the-scenes manager, but in a couple of videos he asked to partake because we needed people. He was reluctant, especially in the straitjacket video, because of his charges, and that's why he wore the mask. Delaware's charges are said to be dropped this fall. Delaware has been nothing but a good person, an amazing husband to my sister, and the best father to my 2 nieces that I could ever ask for. They want no part in this and want to just live their lives, away from the limelight. I don't know about you, but this response generally does not do it for me, and I'm going to talk about that for a second. Also, I'm sorry this video does not have a joking tone like I would usually have in my other videos, but this is a serious topic, so I'm going to handle it with caution. First things first, I've seen a lot of people defending Delaware, at least over on Twitter, saying that, oh, he was 16 during the time, so it's not considered SA or whatever, or it was within they're both minors or anything like that, trying to defend Delaware. I just want to prove that that is a stupid claim, because even though they were both minors at the time, let's understand that he was being accused of SA, which means even if they were both minors, that girl probably did not consent to anything Delaware was going to do, and that action was likely forced upon that person, who was 11 years old at the time. So even if you want to say they were both minors, Delaware's still not innocent. Another thing I want to point out in Jake the Viking's post is that he says that Delaware is a good person just because that they've managed to turn their life around, completely in the same post talking about how they did things to a minor. And he says that they've been nothing but a good person, not that they're a good person now. That was a terrible choice of words, and I think that Jake the Viking honestly didn't have a good response with this, and a lot of the comments seem to agree with my take on that, because a lot of people are pointing out that not only did he know, but Jimmy knew. Also, he mentions that Delaware appeared in the straitjacket video, and I'd like to show you where Delaware is in this video, or at least allegedly who Delaware is. In this video titled, "I spent 24 hours in an insane asylum," Delaware is said to have made an appearance in this video. Delaware is rumored to be the one in the left wearing a mask. Now, I know that might not be concrete evidence that this is Delaware or that Jimmy may still possibly not have known. I do have a piece of evidence that I'd like to share that is posted in this video. Pointed out by a commenter, Jimmy says something very interesting at 9:12.
I'm hungry.
He's after my.
I'm hungry.
Don't touch Delaware Cracker. Chandler doesn't. Don't touch Delaware Cracker. Chandler.
Don't touch Delaware's cracker, right here in this clip, acknowledging Delaware's nickname. A nickname that is allegedly due to Delaware being banned from Delaware. I mean, if what Jake the Viking says is true or isn't true is irrelevant, he is at least aware of Delaware. And it is made true in Jake the Viking's post that MrBeast is aware of Delaware, And also, I'd like to talk about this for just a second. What did MrBeast hear in that meeting with Delaware that he decided to hire Delaware as a worker? Now, I do understand that Delaware may have technically received a punishment, but sex offenders are not allowed to work with children, especially on the set of MrBeast, where these videos are being broadcast to 120 million people in that specific video alone. There is no excuse for hiring someone to work on background projects that happens to be on the registry when you present that work to children and you are marketed towards children. And I know that there are a handful of people that believe Delaware is innocent in this situation, but if he was innocent, why did he take a plea deal? And also, if he had such a good explanation for his actions that MrBeast was willing to hire him, why couldn't he have said that in court? This conduct is honestly dangerous and deserves to be criticized. I know MrBeast has done a lot of good actions for people, but good actions don't mean that you don't get criticism. Which brings me to my next topic, which is MrBeast and censorship. As a lot of you may have heard, MrBeast has been censoring a lot of his comments on YouTube, and that I honestly can understand to an extent because it is a children's channel at the end of the day and you don't want kids looking at certain things. But I've also noticed that MrBeast has stopped censoring his channel recently, and not because he can't, but because his Autobots can't detect that he's censoring things. Because if you look at these comments right here, they're being typed in a specific way that it cannot be monitored. People are typing their sentences in ways that are just unpunctuated, there's no spacing or anything, so it doesn't get picked up by bots. But I'm not really too concerned about the deleting comments. What I am concerned about is deleting scenes from your videos that incriminate you, MrBeast, especially when people are giving you the benefit of the doubt on those situations. Especially when it comes to videos that went back as far as 6 years. There's a channel on YouTube by the name of Upper Echelon that covered the situation, and I'm just gonna play a clip from their video.
And poster is actually there, end quote, linking to 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Interesting. There's a lot of these, by the way, for anyone who's curious. They were targeted and mass deleted as soon as they began showing up. What's even more interesting is that if you go to an archived version of this video, you'll see that the length is 12 minutes and 48 seconds. However, the current version on the MrBeast channel is 10 minutes and 26 seconds. Here's why. At roughly 9 minutes and 30 seconds in, as stated in the comments that were mass deleted, a portion of this video was cut out that showed the team in a living room, and on the wall, sure enough, is a Shadman poster. The same poster that Ava Chris Tyson bragged about making a centerpiece of the living room. MrBeast went back to a video from 6 years ago. He deleted an entire month of comments, as well as stealth edited a portion of the video out to hide things.
Upper Echelon also provides a list in his video that shows every MrBeast moment that has been changed or archived, but I would like to show another clip from his video that shows something way more incriminating.
MrBeast has multiple YouTube channels, and one of those channels, publicly, appears to not have any videos on it. Except it does. They're unlisted videos. And August 1st of 2024, after the controversy started, that channel, once again, shout out to Hoboon, who is an absolute fiend when it comes to archiving data. As of August 1st, that channel pulled down 4 unlisted videos. These 4, we have them right here. One of them is a fragment of the live stream where the alleged illegal lotteries took place. This one starts right from the beginning with a stone cold statement by Jimmy that he will be signing the t-shirts, but he'll try to convince his team to sign them as well. And sure, it was a different stream where his team accidentally showcased that they forge his signature on the merchandise, but there is a reason that they are making so many stealth edits to all of their content and pulling down pieces of evidence across the entire brand. The only word that makes sense, any sort of logical sense here, is cover-up. Side note, as someone who has such a profound and personal animosity for Shadman, I find it baffling that Keemstar, of all people, and Drama Alert are willing to believe, at face value, a numerical claim from MrBeast about the dislikes on his latest video, when that claim appears to be just flat out impossible. I also find it interesting as their team frantically runs around deleting sections of their prior videos to cover up artwork by Shadman and delete jokes they made or scenes with Chris Tyson where he's acting strange and kind of inappropriate. As all of that happens, some of the largest voices in the community are willing to just take things that they say at face value. That's very strange to me.
I shouldn't have to explain why this behavior is bad by any means, but also I wanted to talk about the other MrBeast employee that did come out with a video. The reason I'm actually not going to show that video in here is because going back during the editing, I didn't realize this until just now. I lost the recording for that video, and I read the comments and looked into it. Apparently they have a goal on GoFundMe for $1.7 million, and it seems like they're not actually a MrBeast employee, or allegedly might not be one. I'll throw the channel up on screen if you'd like to check it out yourself, but I'd feel better just not covering that video right here, because there is not 100% validity to these statements, and there is a little bit of sketch behind it. But anyway, that's all I really have to say about this MrBeast situation so far, and I'll update anyone if more information comes out. I chose to handle this situation with care because I feel like that's how it should be handled, so I'm not going to make my usual jokes in this video. But I do really hope that you will leave a like and possibly subscribe, as it really does help out the channel and also help spread out the message of what's going on with this current situation, because I believe people should be informed about it. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts in the comments are down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!